question. So first of all, 8.1, given this expression, so 5a is equal to 5,2, what is the value of a? So that's an equation. So if you have the same bases like this, it's really straightforward. If the bases are the same, that means the top numbers are the same. So a is going to be equal to 2. Solve for y. So with a question like this, usually they just say y can't be 0 because it's in that bottom spot, so you can't divide by 0. What we want to try to do is we want to get rid of the fractions. So what I would do is I would times everything by y. Okay, so we're going to times everything by y. And then what we're going to end up with is we actually get, so the first one, minus 8y times y, that's just going to actually cancel the y's. That's why we're timesing. So we're going to end up with minus 8 plus 2y squared is equal to minus 6y. If we take these all to one side, you're going to see we actually have a quadratic expression. So you've got 2y squared plus 6y, because if you take it across, you change the sign, minus 8 is equal to 0. I would then take out 2 as a common factor. So you're going to end up with y squared. 6 divided by 2 is 3y. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Okay, then we can factorize this quadratic. So remember, when we factorize a quadratic, what happens is we always have two brackets. We always have just y at the front of them, or just x. And then how we read this is we say factors of 4 that differ by 3. Okay, so the factors of 4, we've got 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. Okay, so these ones have a difference of 3. So we are going to say 1 and 4, and then we just need to check our signs. So I'm just going to put it in randomly, minus and a plus. Let's just check that works out. So we're going to go y minus 1, y plus 4. We multiply this out. So we're going to y times y is y squared. Y times 4 is 4y. Minus 1 times y is minus 1y. And then minus 1 times 4 is minus 4. If we simplify this, y squared, 4 minus 1 is 3y minus 4. Okay, so that is the right equation. So we know that these signs are right. Okay, and then the reason we've gotten to this point is we know something, for this to be equal to 0, one of these has to be 0. So 2 can't be 0, but one of these brackets has to be 0. So what we can then say is either y minus 1 is equal to 0 or y plus 4 is equal to 0, which means if you take the numbers across, you're going to get y is equal to, when you take the minus 1 across, it becomes positive 1, or y is equal to negative 4, because when you take it across, the sign changes. Okay, so that is a nice solving one there. It is 6 marks, which is why you've got quite a lot of work to do. But even if you could just try cancel, whenever you see a fraction like that, try cancel that fraction. So you'll see in the next one as well. We have got solve for this. Again, we've got that fraction. We're going to times everything here by 5 to try to get rid of that fraction. And we are trying to solve for y again. So let's see, when we times everything by 5, this one, like we said, that 5 at the bottom is just going to cancel. So we're left with 4y plus 3. That one, that's going to be 25y. And that's going to be 60. This one, actually, it's a little bit easier. We don't have a quadratic, so we can just try to get all the y's to one side, all the numbers to one side. So let's take the y across. So we're going to have 3 is equal to 25y minus 4y minus 60. Let's take that 60 across. So we're going to end up with 63, because if we take it across, we add it. So 63 is equal to 21y. And then we're going to just go 63 divided by that 21, which is going to give us 3. So y is equal to 3. Okay, the reason we divide by the 21, we're trying to get the y by itself. So you're going to take that across and go 63 divided by 21, and we get 3 as our answer. Okay, this would be a challenge question just to kind of see. They always include one of these questions that you've never really seen before. So this would be it. So when this object s.t is inserted into a computer program, the program reads it as this expression. So now they want us to put in a different thing and then work out x. So when we had this one, so s.t, we got this. So let's see if we've got 4.x. Let's follow that same format. So in this one, the second term got squared. So we're going to square that x. So x squared. And then they had the two terms next to each other. So we're going to have plus 4x. And then they say it is equal to minus 3. Now we can quite easily solve for x. So we can see again we've got a quadratic. So we're going to take that 3 across. So we end up with x squared plus 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. Because when we take the 3, the sign changes. Now remember quadratics, we always have two brackets with x in the front. This one's a little bit easier because we've got both pluses, we can just put both pluses. And then how we read it, we read backwards, so we say factors of 3 that add up to 4. Okay, so the factors of 3, we can only say 1 times 3 makes 3, so those are our factors. And so we just plug those in there because those 1 plus 3, that adds up to 4. Okay, so this is our factorized expression. Then we can work out what the value of x is. So either we're going to have x plus 1 is equal to 0, or we're going to have x plus 3 is equal to 0. So if we take the 1 across, it becomes a minus 1. If we take the 3 across, it becomes a minus 3. So those are our possible values for x. We could either have x is minus 1 or x is minus 3. I hope that video helped you. Please let me know if you still have questions, and good luck for your exams.